Hey guys, I think this might be one of the most important videos I've made on this channel so far, so I'd really appreciate it if you stuck around to the end. Give it a like, maybe subscribe, and stick around, show some love. Alright, guys. The older I get, the more and more I realize just how valuable time is. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm a spry chicken in the eyes of anyone over the age of 30, right? I'm very young. I'm in college, but I've seen some stuff, right? I've experienced some things, um, and I think that there's some value to be found. The older you get, the more time just flies. Like I'm a pretty young guy, and I just can't believe like how fast like even the weeks go by. It's like I blink and a week goes by. Like school quarter starts, and then pretty soon it's midterms, and you blink and it's finals, and then school's over. It's kind of insane. And so I'm kind of like obsessed with this idea of time. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today in this video is just a little bit about that. I've really began to understand like if there's anything that you really want to accomplish, you kind of have to start now, right? The best time to start was a month ago. The next best time to do it is now. Um, Time just goes by so quick. It's like if you're trying to do something and you wait till the weekend, like oh I'll have time when the weekend comes because my week's so packed. You almost can't do that. Like you always have to be chipping away at these things that you want to accomplish, like in your spare time, because there's just not enough hours in the day with like all your other responsibilities and this other stuff to actually accomplish that. So what I'm trying to get at in this video is basically explain how I think 4 years now is worth 8 years in the future. And I would say it's like exponential. Like if you put four, maybe even more than that, maybe it's more than like 4 to 8. Like it's not linear, it's just like compound interest, right? Time that you invest now is going to reap so much more rewards in the future. Like it's an exponential curve of investing that time now rather than when you're older, because when you're older you have more responsibilities, you have less energy, it's harder to work on a business, work on a side project, learn these different skills and things like um, and that's why it's so much more valuable when you're younger because you have the energy, you have the time to be able to invest and do those things to better yourself in the future. I think where a lot of this stems from, where like young people we don't really use our time that efficiently, is like a lot of the social conditioning that we grow up with. It kind of starts in high school, where whether it's through movies or just society in general, when you're in high school, you can kind of screw off and do whatever. And there's really not really that many consequences for what you do. High school is easy, whatever. Okay, then you get into college, and because you screwed around and didn't really pay attention in college, now you don't really know what you want to major in, so you just kind of take some GEs for the first year or two, and it kind of becomes a mess, guys, because when you're young, if you can figure out what your values are, what you want to do, you can just kind of go, okay, I'm at A, I want to go to B. Everything out here doesn't matter. I'm going straight there. Right. And the thing is, like, none of this is taught in school, like, especially high school. Like, you're not going to, they don't talk about the value of your time so much and the importance of being able to figure out what's important to you so that you can decide where you want to go in the future. Because if you're able to do that when you're young and use that time, to really form yourself and go in the direction that you want to go, where you want to be successful, you're going to be miles ahead of everyone else around you. So where I really started to notice this distinction, this divergence between these common social tropes and figuring out your values and just going from A to B where you want to get, was in high school. And like I could see it all around me, guys. Like people just kind of like wondering, don't really have a sense of direction. They're just kind of going through the paces of high school. Where when I was in high school, I was really trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do with my life? Like where do I want to be in the next 10 years, 20 years? Where is it that I want to go? Like what are the goals and things that I want to accomplish? What are the things I'm going to have to do to get there? Okay, this and this. All right, A to B, we're going, right? And that was just like kind of how I thought. And so like when I was in high school, the thing that I was really interested in was getting into my dream college, a really good college. And so I did things in high school. I sacrificed a lot to be able to get the grades. I think I ended up with like a 4.6 GPA or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I sacrificed a lot of time working on schoolwork to be able to get where I wanted to go in college, and I ended up getting that, which I'm incredibly grateful for. And it's because I put in the work and I sacrificed to be able to get there, and I wouldn't have it any other way. There was a lot of things I missed out on, but they weren't important to me because what I valued were not those things that everyone says is the best part of high school and whatever. It's like no, because it doesn't. None of that stuff I cared about. I know where I wanted to go, and so I pretty much spent my life at that time to avoid the regrets of lost dreams, of not pursuing that path, and I'm so glad that I did. Right, and then you get to college and you see the same kind of stuff, guys. Like there's people that they're just taking GEs like their whole first year, even their second year, because they kind of screwed off in high school and didn't really set up their priorities straight to where they knew what they want to pursue in the future. And it just costs extra money and time, and like it's not worth it, guys. It's worth setting up your life earlier in the beginning, figuring out what your values are, where you want to go, and then starting as early as possible to do that. Because if it's something that doesn't matter to you, why waste the time doing that thing? Then they say like, college is like the best 4 years of your life. And like I'm telling you, like I'm sorry, but no, like if college is the best 4 years of your life, like you did something wrong. Like you really screwed up if college is like the epitome of your success, when you blacked out on the back patio of your buddy's house. Like I don't know, guys, it's just not like how I think of it is like every year after this is going to be better. Like where I'm like I hope I never peak, right? Like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, like I'm just going to keep leveling up every year, becoming better. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is like get clear on your values, get clear on the things you want in life, because when you have that, you can just like set up the blinders, and all the distractions and other things of life that aren't going to get you to where you want to go, like they're not even going to be attractive because you're so focused and interested in achieving that goal and doing that thing that you want to have, that like it's just not important. You're not even interested in pursuing that thing. And that's why getting clear on what it is that you want to have in your life is so important, because the earlier you can do it now, the more you can start preparing and building towards that future life that you want to have. Because the thing is, like, life only gets harder. Like, the older you get, the more responsibilities you have, the less energy you have, yada yada. So, the earlier you can start doing those things when you have all this free time, the better, right? Like, most of us will just spend our time, stuck on our phones. Like, how much time do you think you waste on your phone a day? And what if you're able to convert that into useful time pursuing a business idea or doing other things that you value a whole lot more that are going to help you achieve your 3 5 10 year goals? And the great thing about this is like no one's gatekeeping anything, right? Like you could start a business if you're 12 if you really wanted to. Like you can walk right into a gym, get a membership, and start working out. Like no one's standing outside of the gym saying, oh, you can't get in. Like there's a whole lot of things like that. And we just kind of grow up thinking like, oh, I can't become successful until after I graduate, college or high school or whatever it is. But like when you're young, like that's the time to build. Like that's the time to really set yourself up, because it just gets harder, and the earlier you can do it, the better, because that's the time, because you have time when you're younger, and if you can use that time effectively, that's really what's gonna set you apart from everyone else. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on that, I guess. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it really made you think about, what are your values? What do you want in life? What do you have to do to get there? What are the distractions? How are you going to have to put the blinders on? What are the things that you're going to, get rid of in your life or have in your life to be able to, achieve those goals and do those things that you want to do? So if you guys liked the video, drop it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, drop a comment down below. Apparently that helps with the algorithm, I've been told. All right, guys, take care. Peace.